Have you ever wondered how a single man could reshape the world of technology? That man was Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, and this is his story. So, Steve Jobs, the man who would later go on to co-found Apple and reshape the tech world, was born on February 24th, 1955. But did you know he was adopted? That's right, his biological parents were Joan Schiebel and Abdul Fattah Jandali, but he was adopted and raised by Paul and Clara Jobs in Mountain View, California. Now, Steve wasn't any typical kid. Well, he was curious, intelligent, and even a bit of a troublemaker. He wasn't particularly interested in school, but there was one thing that did catch his attention: electronics. His father Paul introduced him to the world of mechanics and electronics through work on cars and various projects around the house. And this sparked Steve's interest in technology at a very young age. In high school, Steve met a person who would become very important in his life, Steve Wozniak. They bonded over their shared love of electronics and pranks. Little did they know that their friendship would lead to the creation of one of the most successful tech companies in the world. After high school, Steve enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon. But college life didn't suit him. He dropped out after 6 months but continued auditing classes for another 18 months. One class that made a significant impact on him was calligraphy. Yes, he once said that if he had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts.
If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts.
So, you see, every experience in Steve's early life played a part in shaping the innovator he would become. From his adoption to his love for electronics to his time at Reed College, it all played a part in his journey. Did you know that Steve Jobs had a unique philosophy that guided his life and work? He believed in the power of simplicity and once said, "That's been one of my mantras: focus and simplicity. Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple." This philosophy was evident in Apple's products, which are known for their clean, user-friendly design. Now, coming back to our story, let's find out how Steve Jobs co-founded Apple. In 1976, Jobs and Wozniak co-founded Apple right in the Jobs family garage in Los Altos, California. You know, Steve Jobs was a young man in his early 20s and was huddled with his friend Steve Wozniak, working on a project that would change the world. They were building the first Apple computer. Now, Wozniak was the tech wizard. He could make electronics do things that no one else could. But Jobs, he was the dreamer, the one who saw not what was, but what could be. Together, they were unstoppable. Well, their first creation was the Apple I. It wasn't much to look at by today's standards. Just a circuit board that hobbyists could purchase and assemble into a working computer. But at the time, it was truly revolutionary. And for the first time, owning a personal computer was within reach for many people. But it was their next project, the Apple II, that really put them on the map. With its sleek design and user-friendly interface, it wasn't like anything anyone had seen before. It was a hit. The Apple II sold in the millions and set the standard for what a personal computer should be. But this success didn't come easy. There were long nights, countless setbacks, and plenty of doubters. But through it all, Jobs and Wozniak never lost sight of their vision: a computer in every home. But as we all know, life has a way of throwing curveballs. By 1985, there were significant disagreements with Apple about the company's direction. Jobs found himself pushed out of the very company he had co-founded. Can you imagine that? But if you think that stopped him, you don't know Steve Jobs. Well then, Jobs went on to found Next, a computer platform development company. Next computers were innovative and ahead of their time, but were not commercially successful. However, it was at Next where Jobs' vision for an easy-to-use computer with a graphical user interface took shape. In 1986, Jobs bought the graphics group, later renamed Pixar, from Lucasfilm's computer graphics division for about $10 million. Then he invested $50 million of his own money into the company. Pixar went on to produce wildly popular animation films such as Toy Story. We all are a fan today, aren't we? In a twist of fate, Apple bought Next in 1997 for $429 million and 1.5 million shares of Apple stock, bringing Jobs back into the fold. At this point, Apple was struggling with declining sales and lackluster projects. But Jobs turned it around with products like the iMac in 1998, which was known for its unique design and vibrant colors. He really brought Apple back from the brink and set it on a path to become one of the most valuable companies in the world. So, you see, Steve Jobs' journey with Apple was not a straight line, but a winding road full of ups and downs. Now, let's fast forward to 2001. The tech world was about to be rocked by a small, sleek device that fit in the palm of your hand, the iPod. Can you remember the first time you saw one? That little gadget could hold 1,000 songs. 1,000! It was unheard of. It was like having a personal jukebox that you could carry in your pocket. And it was just the beginning of a series of innovations that would redefine consumer technology. Then in 2007, Jobs took the stage and introduced a product that would change everything. Yes, the iPhone. It wasn't just a phone, it was an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator all in one device. Do you know people were skeptical at first? Yeah, some even laughed, but Jobs had the last laugh. Today it's hard to imagine a world without smartphones. And then came the iPad in 2010, a tablet computer that you could carry around like a notebook. It opened up new possibilities for digital art, mobile gaming, and portable entertainment. Well, it was another game changer from Apple. But these products weren't just about the technology. They were about creating an experience. Jobs once said, "Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works." And he made sure Apple products didn't just work, they worked beautifully. Do you know, under Steve Jobs' leadership, a unique work culture developed at Apple? Well, Jobs believed in creating an environment where excellence was expected and mediocrity wasn't tolerated. He fostered a culture of innovation and encouraged his team to push the boundaries of what was possible. This culture is often credited for the groundbreaking products that Apple has produced over the years. Steve Jobs passed away on October 5, 2011, but his spirit lives on in every Apple product. His vision for technology was not just about making our lives easier, it was more about making our lives better. Jobs once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." And he did change the world. He changed how we listen to music, how we use our phones, how we work and play. Still, if we think his impact goes beyond Apple, his story is a testament to the power of creativity and innovation. It's a story of resilience, of being knocked down and getting back up again. Jobs' legacy is not just in the products he created, but in the possibilities he opened up for others. He inspired a whole generation of entrepreneurs and innovators who continue to push the boundaries of what's possible. He was truly a legend. Now that we've covered his life and legacy, let's lighten up things a bit. Are you ready for some interesting facts about Steve Jobs? Don't go anywhere. Fact number 1. You know Steve's iconic black turtleneck? It was actually part of a planned uniform for Apple employees, designed by Issey Miyake. But when the employees didn't like the idea, Steve adopted it as his personal style. Fact number 2. This one might surprise you, but Steve Jobs didn't have some of the technological savvy you might expect. Despite co-founding Apple, Steve Jobs never learned how to code. Can you believe that? Fact number 3. Did you know that Steve Jobs has over 300 patents with his name on them? Talk about being inventive. Fact number 4, an interesting one. Did you know that Steve almost became a Buddhist monk? In 1974, he traveled to India for spiritual enlightenment and started practicing Zen Buddhism. Fact number 5, it's a fun one. Steve found a loophole in the law that let him drive a car without plates by changing cars every 6 months. So that's the story of Steve Jobs, a man who started in a garage and ended up changing the world. So next time you pick up your iPhone or work on your Mac, remember the incredible journey of the man behind these innovations. Now, let us know how Steve Jobs' innovation impacted your life. Drop a comment below. And if you found this video useful, please like it and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our next videos. And as always, thank you for watching.